Hi everyone, welcome back to SwitchUp. My name's Mark Walker, and it is that time of the week where we go through the best things on sale at the moment on Switch, and also hopefully some of you save a little bit more money because we've got our 10% discount using code SwitchUp over at our website switchup.gg, and you can buy all your eShop cards over there. And then we get a very small little kickback from Nintendo. Thanks to all of you that have supported us recently. We've got up to, I think, 232,000 subscribers. I know it might seem like an arbitrary number, but to us, it really is important and it's awesome. With all of that waffle out the way, what is on sale? Well, let's find out. First up then, and by far the cheapest it's ever been, we've got down in Bermuda, 95% off until January the 22nd, taking it down to 99p or your regional equivalent. It describes itself as a quirky adventure game filled with puzzles as well as a bit of a mystery to uncover. Now, I watched Switch Corner's review of this one and he said it was well worth the money, and I go with what he thinks because the guy knows what he's talking about. I actually picked it up last time it was on sale, so for this price, I mean, you would be mad not to. Funnily enough, it comes from the same studio that created Agent A Puzzle in Disguise, which although not many people really purchased that, I picked it up and it was decent. I love the aesthetic style here. I think it's really nice, vibrant colours, and it has that low polygon art style that I'm starting to really favour. Like, it was pixel art for a bit, but then that got oversaturated, and now this style I think is lovely. It's an 840 megabyte download, and yeah, that sale goes on until January the 22nd, but 95% off, absolute peanuts. Reduced physically, digitally, pretty much anywhere at the moment, you've got Cris Tales. The eShop sale lasts until the 20th, but like I say, buy it physically, currently reduced in most shops. It's a really enjoyable JRPG with a few time-bending mechanics thrown in for good measure. You can see the past, present and future on the screen at any one time, and your side quests will genuinely impact what happens in the future. Now, it wasn't perfect. I think developer Dreams Uncorporated were close to creating a bit of like a masterpiece, but there's a few elements in here that I didn't quite click with. Now, that being said, at the moment it's half price. I think it's well worth $20 or your regional equivalent. I'm not sure if this one's on sale in the UK, although I do know you can get it cheaper physically in the UK at the moment as well. It's 3.4 gigabytes. It will take you around about 30 hours to finish, and if you're a fan of JRPGs, you'll definitely get on with the mechanics and just probably enjoy this experience. But it does have random battles. I know some of you like those, I know some don't. I'm personally not a huge fan of them, but what you won't find is loads of grinding. I genuinely didn't find that I had to grind a great amount. This sale goes on until January the 20th. My little hidden gem pickup of the week then, and I'm always on the lookout for new games because I don't just want to recommend the same ones over and over. If you liked old school Monkey Island, you are going to love Kaptain Brawe, a Brawe New World. I know, it looks like Kaptain Brawe, a Brave New World. I think it's supposed to. I can't say this title at all, it's almost impossible. But the game's at 80% off at the moment. It's an old school point and click adventure. But the difficulty with these is they so often just try and be Monkey Island, and they struggle, like they always do. But I found here the level of puzzles, the puzzle design, and the mixture between good solid lateral thinking puzzles and absolutely bonkers ones. That balance is just about right here. Doesn't always get it perfect, but if you are after something that's got a nice well-written script and will genuinely make you chuckle and give you a bit of that nostalgia hit, then this might be a good one for you. You take control of all 3 different characters. There are 4 different planets that you visit. There's definitely a bit of space quest in here as well. So yeah, it's not going to be for everyone, but if you like what I've said and you like the games that I've mentioned, I think you'll enjoy this. It's 261 megs, so a bit of a bargain, and that's until January the 21st. Now, at the moment in the UK, I don't know if it's in America. Someone was saying that you couldn't get this, but you can get the new Dead Cells Road to the Sea game DLC bundle. So it includes every bit of DLC they've released. Yeah, I've just checked, you can get this in America. It's got every DLC they've released. It's got every add-on that's been out for the Switch version, including the new Queen of the Sea DLC. Now that's 35% off. That's the lowest it's ever been. It's $21. Like, that's such a good amount of content for your money. And you'll be blasting through the main game, the Fatal Falls DLC, the aforementioned Queen of the Sea, the Bad Seed bundle, the Rise of the Giant content. It really is just... I'm kind of jealous for any of you that haven't played Dead Cells and managed to pick this up as your first experience of it. Really incredible game, well worth it. Very difficult, but it also feels very fair. Now, downloads wise, you're looking at about 1.5 gigs, and in terms of gameplay, well, I don't know. What do you reckon? A couple of 100 hours at least? There's a reason they get mentioned so often by so many channels. It's just an incredible game. Then we've got a sale that's the EU region, so apologies America, this one's not for you. Although again, you can pick it up physically for cheaper. It's Crysis Remastered, the Trilogy. That's currently £35.99, that's a 20% reduction, and that matches the cheapest it's ever been on sale. I've covered these games on the channel, I've covered all of them actually, and they're brilliant ports from Crytek. There are a few little quirks with sound issues at launch, but they've patched those out. Performance is excellent, you've got gyroscopic controls. They're a good example really of what the Switch can do when a developer actually puts in the time and attention needed. Now the only issue with them, issue in air quotes, is the sheer amount of size they take up. You're looking at about 30 gigabytes to get all three of these installed, and that's just a monster download really. And also it's worth noting that the Switch versions don't have any of the multiplayer aspects, so I guess in some ways you're getting a lesser experience, but having this on the Switch OLED, my word, absolutely great. Now if you're not interested in buying the Trilogy, you can pick up the games individually at similar reductions, so you might just want to get 2 and 3. And if I'm not mistaken, if you already owned the original, you got a slight discount, but yeah, you'd have to confirm that for me. This one is only on sale until January the 18th. Alright, the kids pick, or the big kids pick this week, is LEGO Worlds. Now LEGO Worlds at the moment in the UK is on sale physically for 10% off at shop2.net, but in America you're getting a much more sizable online discount. It's 80% off, taking it down to $6. That's ridiculous. This is a very fun combination of things like Minecraft, survival games, and obviously LEGO. You can collect and find loads of different genuine model sets. You can create your own designs. There's just tons to do here. It's perfect for if you've got a kid, because you can split screen on one console, or you can play online with other people. But you're looking at maybe 30 to 50 hours of content here at least. And there are a number of different DLC packs that you can gradually add on, like if you were buying your little Lego sets, if your kid really gets into it. This one is 2.9 gigs, and it's on sale until January the 24th. Earthlock is an interesting one. I wouldn't say it's the best RPG ever, like it's not the best JRPG-like game, but I do think it's good enough. It styles itself very much on late 90s RPGs, things like the Final Fantasy games. It has turn-based combat. You can switch between 6 different playable characters throughout the adventure, and it's written well enough. I think the thing that makes it stand out, and for me makes it worth this price, it's 81% off, is the fact that Snowcastle Games, when they originally released it, it was terrible. It wasn't good, and they were like, this isn't good. And they actually, I believe they either didn't release it or they pulled it back from release, worked for ages on it, and then put it out in a decent state. I've got a lot of time for developers that are willing to do that, especially at the risk of losing out on sales. Like, yeah, fair play to you. So if you're after a good but not great JRPG, one that's well worth a sale pickup, then consider Earthlock. It goes on sale until January the 28th, and it has a download size of 4.1 gigs. One that I don't think I've ever mentioned being on sale, or we've just never really spoken about it, I guess it's probably because it's Glen's. He absolutely loves this series. And it's Mortal Kombat 11, but at the moment you can get Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate at 70% off, or you can buy the base game at 80% off if you just want the core experience. Now the Switch version of Mortal Kombat, it ran at 60 FPS, but it looked like a bit of a blurry mess. They have done a number of patches since launch. It certainly looks better than it did back then. It will never look amazing on Switch, but you're there for the gameplay, and those core gameplay mechanics, they're all intact. It's a very good Mortal Kombat game. It's 80% off, like I say, until January the 24th, and this one carries a download size of 32 gigs. I think a lot of users slam this one on Metacritic simply because of the visual downgrade, and if that visual bothers you, then don't get it. But if you're someone that plays games for the actual gameplay, then this one might be for you. Then we've got the excellent Tales of Vesperia, the Definitive Edition. This was on sale over in the US regions all of last week. It might have a couple of hours left over there, but it's just gone on sale in the UK at its lowest ever price, taking it down to £7.99. It's 80% off. This is absolutely one of the best JRPGs we've got on Switch, so I mean, you should own it. Yes, they're longer experiences. Yes, you could spend, you could spend upwards of 100 hours playing, and if you have that kind of time on your hands, then hats off to you. But It's got that core JRPG mechanic just done so well throughout it. It's one of the reasons that I love Dragon Quest XI's so much, is that it does everything so well. This one perhaps doesn't get as much mention as things like Ni no Kuni, and in many ways is potentially better than some of those games. It's got a 13GB download. Let us know in the comments if you finished this one. I'm not going to claim to have finished it because I haven't. I'm probably about 5 or 6 hours in, but yeah, it's a great game, and it's one that really I need to tick off of the backlog. This one's on sale until January the 25th, but as I say, if you're in the US, you've got about 10 hours left to pick this one up. Alright, before we look at a couple of games you should avoid then, I'm going to put in a new little segment here, because very often games go on sale just as I'm making this list, so let's throw in a few quick fire ones. I think Doraemon Story of Seasons in the UK at 80% off, £8.99 should have a small mention, and obviously the big sales that have they're just about to end, so any of these you could pick up and be very happy with them, but like you've only got about 10 hours left to do so. What is worth avoiding then? Well, there's a ton to avoid on the Switch eShop. Unfortunately, there's no ranking system, so it's a nightmare. It's funny, isn't it? Things from back in the DS era could do with coming back. But anyway, before I go off on a tangent, yeah, I think at the moment, King's Bounty 2. Now, it's not a terrible game, but there's so much wrong with the mechanics, the movement of it, the combat difficulty is just all over the shop. But what I will say is they're working on this. So as it stands, I won't say avoid it, I'll say wait until the all patched up re-review video, because that will definitely be coming. I said to them as much. As soon as that new big patch, they've got a massive patch on its way out, as soon as that drops, I'll be really keen to see what they've done really to improve what has the potential to be so great but just misses the mark as it stands. And that is it for this week. Hopefully you've had a lovely weekend, probably going back to work. You might have worked over this weekend, but yeah, I hope you've had a good one regardless. And a big thanks to all of you who watch and enjoy the channel. As I said before, we've still got 10% off on our website, www.switchup.gg, and you save a bit extra on these sales. Thanks to our patrons, you guys are awesome. I've just seen an email pop up from one of you about getting on the Discord, so I'll sort that out now. For all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys, see ya!